Hey everyone, I'm here with a solo playthrough of One Deck Galaxy. I'm going to be going up against the adversary, the Hungry Nebula. We have these tokens that are covering up some of their, I forget what they call these. Well, basically, as long as you're able to remove these 4 levels, if you see the word win, that's how you win the game. But yeah, this is gonna be an interesting run through, only because I'm having a hard time grasping all the rules, but we'll see how this one goes. Specific to the Hungry Nebula, it has these specific rules for setup. You have the 5 event cards that typically would go on the bottom of the location or encounter deck, but they're actually placed face up with the swell ability text face up. So during the results phase of the turn, something will happen with them. So we'll go through that as I play the game. And then in terms of what I've got here, my player board, the homeworld is Jumanji, Elements, and then Explorers. And I am playing with the 1P side face up. We have our Federation level. We are at level 1 right now, but as we use the tokens and complete milestones, we'll uncover the next level, so that we could, utilize some of the higher level tech upgrades here. So for Probe Armada, I'll be able to do something better when I reach level 3 Federation and level 5 Federation. I also have this adaptive research tech already kind of like available to me because I have elements. On the left side of this elements card, we have colonies. I start off with 3 yellow, 2 red or pink, 5 blue, and 2 tech stars. These are the tech stars, and they will be utilized to cover up the tech stars that I need to cover up when I use them. And then over here we have the star base. This will allow me to do a bunch of things that hopefully generate resources for me to complete some of the encounters and location requirements to claim the colonies. And then we have here the what do they call this? This is a confrontation card, I guess. So I'm able to remove these tokens by completing each row. And so I'll go into that as I play the game. But I think, if you're looking for a tutorial, this may not be it. This is a playthrough of the game, which, I will be talking through my turn and everything. You'll get an idea of how to play, but it's not really going to go through every single rule that's in the rule book. So with that, I think the actual, I believe the designers actually do have a how to play video right now. So you definitely YouTube search that and you'll find out no problem. So I think we'll get started here. We start with some phases. So we have adversary, discover, action, results. So in the adversary phase, we discard the top card of the deck. So that's discarded. And then we gain 1 influence. The influence is tracked using the back of the deck. This is 1 influence, this is 2 influence. So you're going to utilize it as is using the card that you have here. So this will be 1 influence here, and we'll track it. And man, I do have a gripe about these this mechanic where you use cards and you have to like put them under it and kind of keep track. It's gonna get messy, and especially with tokens on top of these cards, it's just gonna it's not ideal, I guess, for me, because I like things to be like really perfect and not look messy. But whenever I played like One Deck Dungeon and you have like the cards laid along each other, it's just that just stresses me out. But I'm gonna try to get over that with this game. All right, so we got that, and then part of setup I should have also put 2 influence here to the left, and this will signify how many ships I have in my fleet, which is currently 2. And then here I'll flip over the first card, and that's how many science I start off with in the game. It would have been either 3 or 4 science, so I'm starting with 3. And there we go, knocking cards already. Okay, so yeah, so you start the game with these. Now the discover phase, if there were already 4 cards in the discovery zone, then I would have to give an extra influence to the Hungry Nebula. But for now, I don't think I will need to do that because I don't have anything in my discovery zone. But let's fill it up now that we're in that zone. We have Chilonis, Zabfab, Mineco, and SS Sunlight. And you've got Mail Co. Cool. So I'm gonna move on to the action phase. So this action phase is going to include gathering all of my resources. So that's going to be my dice. So that's 3 yellows, 2 pinks, 5 blues, and then 2 of these tech stars. I also want to put the Starbase token on the Starbase itself here. And we'll be utilizing that a bit later, and I'll explain that later as well. Alright, and then we basically just roll the dice at this point. Okay, so we have a bunch of dice rolled, and we have 3 areas that we could essentially place these dice. Let's start with the discovery zone. You'll see that here we have a card where there is a line across it, so each row is independent of each other. So for this one, that actually means you would spend 2 fleet to complete this requirement, and then at the results phase you'd end up gaining an influence. But to do that, you would pay 2 fleet, so discarding 2 of the fleet here. So I would discard this card, and then I'll put this on the card as is, like this, and that will signify that I've done it. But because this token is taken from the Starbase, I wouldn't be able to do it again this turn. So I have to be smart about how I use this Starbase. This one says 12 on it, and it is blue, so that means I have to use dice that have values that sum up to 12, and there could be more than 1 die. So just keep note of the restrictions and notes that are on the top of the top right side of the card. So this one says no dice with value 6, so that means I wouldn't be able to put like any blue 6s here. It would have to be any other value that add up to 12. If I complete this, I get 2 influence. And the influence as they're gained is taken from the top of the deck to track, and they would go on top. And once I have 5 influence accounted for, I'd be able to claim this colony and either utilize it as a colony or as a tech. So each card has colonies, so these will increase your resources, and then the bottom is your tech that you'll gain as you progress in the game, and they can help you. So that's an example of that. So you'd be able to complete these with any resources you might have available, and in the results phase you'd be able to resolve them and gain colonies as needed. Another area to place your dice is a Starbase. They're gray, so you could place any colored dice here. It doesn't really matter, but the values do pretty much matter here. So starting here, you'll be able to put 3 of any same value dice, 2 of any same value dice, or any 2 dice. And you'd gain 1 ship, 2 ships, 3 ships, depending on what you placed here. And again, you would track it using cards from the deck, just signifying 1 or 2, or the amount of fleet that you have. In the research lab, if you have any leftover dice that you really can't put anywhere, you don't want to go to waste, you can always put in the research lab. And here you could probe or study. So probing means, and again, the resolving of all this typically happens in the results phase. Right now we're only in the action phase. So you place dice, but you don't really do anything yet until the results phase. So results phase, you would be probing or studying with any of the dice you have in the research lab. Probing, you could use 3 dice, spend 3 dice, and you can only do this once per turn. But yeah, you would be able to draw from the top of the deck, and you'd gain whatever science is on that card here. Study is a little bit different. You pay 1 die per science on one of these cards if you want to take this. So say I wanted to take this card. It has 4 science. I have to pay 4 dice, and then I can take this card and put it here and gain the 4 science. If I somehow ended up having some influence here, I would just subtract the amount of influence that I had here from the cost. So if I had 2 influence here, I would subtract it from here, so I would only have to pay 2 dice to claim this as science resources. You know, while I'm talking about the starbase, I do want to mention you can spend 1 ship to increase or decrease by 1 any value of the dice, and then I'm sorry, any dice value, and then here you can spend 3 dice, 3 science to get a ultra tech dice, and that's a black die here, which would be able to be used as a wild essentially. So yeah, you'd be able to roll that in and use it. And that's something you don't have to do during the results phase. That's actually something you'll do in the action phase, so that you could mitigate the dice to utilize on your turn during the action phase. The third area where you can place dice is on the confrontation card. So you'll want to only place it if you qualify to do it. So at first you'll only be able to do the first row because you have to get rid of this token. And then there is another side. If you happen to have like a home base that gives you more resources of a certain type, you may want to start on this side, the energy nets versus the research teams. But since mine actually had a lot of blue, I'm going to keep it on this side in hopes that I get that. So yeah, it'll also be in my best interest to probably get more pinks, because I only have 2 pinks, and the likelihood of both of these, one of them rolling a 6, is pretty low. So if I had to strategize, I'd try to get at least one of these cards as a colony, so I could gain another pink die to roll. Anyway, I think that's enough talking, and now I will place my dice in the action phase. So this needs 10, and I could get a influence, but like I said, I think I do also want to get this card, and I need 8 influence to get it. So let's give that a shot. So I'm going to put the blue 3, and then the pink 3, and then, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do that because this one has unlock. I have to fill the top row first before the bottom row. So maybe that's not a no-go for me. Okay, maybe I'll do the You've Got Mail Co. Restriction, all dice here must have different values. So at least they're not color dependent. So I think yeah, I think I'll go ahead and place these dice on top. This is going to be 12, so a total of 12, and that's good. None of them are the same values, and so I'll gain 2 influence during the results phase. And then let's see, could I do it here? I think I can. I could do it again down here and gain 2 more influence. That'll be 4 out of 7 influence, which is good. Cool. And then I don't want to forget about my tech. I could use 2 of my tech because I have these. I think I won't really need to use these at the moment. Let me just see what I can do. So I have 3, 3, 3, which is good to gain 3 fleet, 3 ships in my fleet. So I'll do that. And then I have this 1, 4, which I guess I'll put in the research lab. I'm not sure I'll be able to do much with it though. Yeah, not much I can do with it. But, so that wasn't very efficient. I am gonna spend 2 fleet here. So I'll discard this fleet here. And I completed that requirement to gain an influence. Okay, so now we get to the results phase, and I have to remember that at the end of this phase, the Hungry Nebula actually does something. So results phase says we have to take care of the location, so let's do that. I'll gain 1 influence on this location, and then I'll return that to the supply. This one doesn't do anything, nothing here. And here I'll gain a total of 4 influence, so we'll need to put 2 cards to total 4 above this. That's a total of 4 out of 7, which is pretty neat. And then after that, I think we do the star base. So let's do the star base, I guess. So resolve star base, I'll get 3 fleet, so that's 2, and then we'll get 3, and then here I don't think I can use that anywhere. Yeah, I don't think I can use that die right now, so that's unfortunate. So after that, I will resolve the adversary confrontation card, which has nothing on it. So end of the results phase, spend X times, swell X times, see back of card. If there are 4 plus influence on the adversary, swell an additional time, then discard 4 influence from here. So X says, for each swell, the players must choose 1 swell effect. Each chosen effect must be able to be fully executed. Effects cannot be repeated during a turn. If no effect can be chosen, discard 3 cards from the deck instead for each such swell. Interesting. So, what is X though? Does it say? Oh, sorry. It's the level. That's what that is. So 3 times. I have to swell 3 times. And for each swell, the players has to choose 1 swell effect. Okay. Sounds good. So this says swell X times. If there are 4 or more influence on the adversary, swell an additional time, then discard 4 influence from here. Okay, sounds good. So let's see, I have to swell 3 times, and the options are spend a science card from the star base, exile a star, or a tech or a science, not science, what is that? A colony, I think. Is that colony icon? Let me see. I don't know what that icon is. Let's see. What does that mean? I'm trying to figure out what this icon is. Well, I actually don't see that icon here, so I'm gonna try to avoid that one. Exile 2 dice from the supply, oof, and spend 2 from locations in play. And the last one says spend 2 fleet. So I have to do 3 of these. Let's see. How do I exile? Because it says after executing the swells for the turn, you're overwhelmed if the number of exiled adversary events is at least as high as your federation level. So how did they get exiled though? Oh, when the deck is reshuffled, instead of revealing an event, exile 1. Oh, okay. Cool. So that's how that works. Alright, so I'm going to choose 3, and it says spend a science card from the start base. That means I'll be losing 3 science, but I'm gonna have to, so let's do that. Let's should go away. I'll spend 2 fleet. And then the last one I'll do is spend 2 from location. So do that. So that was the results phase. And now we start a new turn. So the adversary is going to discard the top card. And it's going to gain 1 influence. So we just turn this around to show 2. And then discover phase, I do have 4 out here. So it's going to gain an additional influence. It has 3 influence now. And then I should gather my dice for the action phase. 3. Also, I should mention during the results phase, I think, no, during the adversary phase, you would, yeah, let me just double check. For each encounter, you add an influence. So we actually have no encounters out right now. It's just location. So that's not something we need to do. And we get 5, 2, 3, and then we have 2 here. Cool. So let's just roll. Okay, let's say that's a 5. So I think this works. We'll do this. And then this. And here, 1 lock. And I'll use the Probe Armada and return 1 pink die to gain a 3 Ultra Tech die. And then I can utilize these 3 here. And then I don't think I'm going to be using this, but I mean, I guess I could. Yeah, I can. Ooh, I need to put this here. So what I'll do is I'll use my adaptive research, resolve the start base, and discard any dice used. So I'm going to resolve this and gain 3 fleet. That's going to be, I'll turn this around for 2. And then there's 1 for 3 fleet. And then I can actually resolve this top one for 2 fleet. So I'll discard this. And yeah, what's cool is basically with adaptive research, I could do the start base, resolve start base twice because I'm resolving it now during the action. But then if I had extra dice to put here somehow, I could resolve it again in the results phase. All right, so the results phase, I'm going to go through the locations. This is going to give me 1 influence here. This will be 2. And then here, I'm going to gain 1 influence. Nothing happens here. Here I gain 4 influence. And this is going to be 2, 4, 6 influence. I need 1 more influence. And then I resolve the star base and then resolve this, but there's nothing to resolve on either end. Now, at the end of the results phase, I swell 3 times. If there are 4 or more influence, there's only 3, so I don't have to worry about swelling an additional time. So I guess I have to choose 3, and I have to be able to do it. I can't do the spend 2 fleet. I can spend 2 from locations in play, so I'll choose this one. So I discard that. And then, so that's 1 I've done. I had to exile 2 from the supply. I'll exile 2 blue dice from the supply, so I'll put that away. And then the third thing I can do is exile a tech star. I guess I could exile a tech star. So I have my box of supplies here, so I'll exile text star from supply. And what else? I guess, oh, I think that's all I needed to do. That was 3. All right, so that's the results phase. Now we go back to the adversary. We discard the top card. And then they gain an influence, so they have 4. So unfortunately, that's going to be a problem. And then here goes my tokens. All right. And then discover, I do have 4 out, so it gains 1 more influence. So it has 5 influence right now, which is unfortunate. And then it's the action phase again. Let me gather everything I need. 5, 2 text stars. This here. And I'll roll. Okay. I'm gonna choose to do these 3 dice, and I should be able to claim this during the results phase, which is awesome. And then let's see, I'm going to use the probe armada, return this blue 2 die to gain a 3 tech ultra die. I'm going to put that 3 well, you know what, let's first put 11 here to unlock the bottom row, and then I'll put the pink 6 and the 3 here, the 3 tech ultra die. Then we have these 2 dice, which I can't do much with. I'm just gonna put it on the any row here. And then in terms of using the star base, I don't think there's anything I can use the star base for. I mean, I guess I can. I'll use this tech star to resolve the star base. So I'll remove this die to gain 2 fleet, one fleet, meaning now I have 2. Well, 2 ships on my fleet. And now I could utilize it to gain a to complete this, spending 2 of my fleet. So yeah, now I can go into results. I'll go here, gain 1 influence there. Here I'll gain a total of 3 influence. Well, I could turn this around for 1 of them, and then I'll gain 2 more. That's 4. And then this one I'll gain 2. So I have 8, which means I can claim this right away. Discard those. And this will be a colony. Okay. The fuel, I'm not sure what to do about the fuel. I'm not sure what that is. Alright, so that's all the locations. And now at the end of the results phase, it says swell X times. Alright, so unfortunately it's going to swell a total of 4 times. And then I do discard 4 from here. So I'll discard 4. So I have to choose 4 of these. Let's see. How does it get exiled again? Oh, when the deck is reshuffled. Okay. So I have to. I can't spend any fleet. I can spend 2 from locations in play. Okay, so I can remove it from here. So that's 1. Need 2 more swells. Exile 2 from the supply. I'll exile 2 pinks from the supply. And 3rd, I will exile 1 more tech token. Okay. All right. What else? Yeah, I guess that's it. We'll go to the adversary and then discard a card, and then it gains an influence, so it has 2 influence. And then it does not have 4 we don't have 4 cards in the discovery zone, so it does not gain the extra influence, but I do refill. We have a Vow, and now it's the action phase. I'll gain 4 yellows, 3 pinks, so we're rolling with 2 more dice than we did before, 5 blue, and 3 tech stars. 1, 2, 3, and we'll put this here on the star base. All right. So what do we need? What kind of strategy? I definitely need more science so I can take a stab at the Hungry Nebula. We need a 5 and a 5, which I have. I just need 7 science. So is there a way to gain 7 science? Probably. So let's see. I'm gonna put these here for safekeeping, but I'm gonna need the 7 science. So let's strategize how to get 7 science. I'm gonna literally put all my dice on a research lab. How about that? It doesn't even matter what like value it is. I just need 7. All right, so let's do that. I'm gonna use 3 dice, limit 1 per turn, 3 dice to, well, first I have to use my tech to resolve the starbase, and I'll do that. And so I'll probe and gain 4 science from that. And then I'll remove, I'll remove 2 to gain this one. You know what? No, not 2. I'm gonna remove a total of 4 and gain this one. And now I have 3 dice, which I can use for later. So let's keep that. We have 8. Yeah, we have 8 science, which I will spend. And you don't get like any, like, even though I only need a 7, you have to discard everything because I'm using a portion of this card for the 7. And now I can resolve. Unfortunately, I don't think I can utilize any of these. So yeah, so I'm gonna resolve. Can't resolve anything here. I could resolve something here on the star base, so I could spend, oh wait, I already did this, limit 1 per turn, so I can't probe. But I could spend 3 to, you know what? Can we pretend that I put them like here? Like this. And then I would gain 1 fleet. Let's say I did that. Because I should have. That would be the smarter play. And then resolving this 1, I'll pay 1 because this discounted by 2 to gain this as science. So I use the study to do that. And then this discarded. So that's the star base, and now I can resolve the confrontation. Okay, remove this now. Add that here. So just a note, once I so in the results phase, it says claim the adversary disc next to a filled row. So I just did that, and it's placed next to your star base and can be spent later to avoid being overwhelmed. So now I have a free overwhelm basically here. So yeah, that should be good. All right, so let's return everything, and now at the end of the results phase we spell X times, which is 2. So I'm gonna do spend the science from a star base, so I guess I'll do that, and spend 2 from a location I don't have any. Spend 2 fleet, I only have 1. Exile 2 dice, or exile a tech. I'll take an exile tech icon from my supply, which is here. Oops. Okay, so we've done that, and now it is the adversary. So we discard the top, and they gain an influence. So there are 3 influence. There's not 4 here, so they don't gain an extra, but I'll refill. We have a Soulwort and a Hematib. And now we gain our resources here, our dice. 3 and 5. And then 3 tech stars. Okay, so I think I need to. I have what I need. Oops, that was a 6. I need to start increasing my Federation level because I can't even get to this. Remove that next token here without it. So it says if I have 4 of each of 2 resources. Oh, I do. I have 4. Is that what that means? What are resources in this game? Let's see. So resources. I'm pretty sure it's the dice. Resource type, part of either reward. Number 6. Is that a resource? Alright, it looks like resources are these. And I don't have 6 of 1 resource. I also don't have 4 each of 2 resources or 3 each. So I can't. This is gonna be a long game. Oh my gosh. I mean, I should mention it says count resource icons in the discovery zone as if they were attached to your homeworld. So these count. But it's not gonna help. I don't have enough yet. So I really need to hustle here. So I need to just ignore this, I think, unless I could do this here. I doubt it. I don't think I can do that. All right, so I'll go for. I'm gonna try to complete this one. But I need fleet. So do I have 3 dice of the same values? I do. I have 3 2s. So let's definitely put that there. Do I have numbers that are the same here? I do. Let's do that. So I'll have 5 fleet ships I'll gain. No, gotta put this here. This be good to have. I really want this one, definitely. And this might be good as a tech. Gain 6 or spend 2 to roll 2. This is also a good tech, but I don't have science right now. I could get science though, no issue. Yeah, so for now we'll reserve this for this card. We're gonna need science, so let's do this and then here, and then we'll use a tech star to resolve the star base. So I'll resolve this by spending 3 for the Soulwort for 3 science, and then I'm gonna spend it. Well, let's just resolve this. So that's 3 science, and then here I'll gain a total of 3, 4, 5, 6 fleet. So 6 fleet. 2, 4, 6. That's a lot of fleet. Okay. Yeah, this is what I don't like about having to stack. Let's see. And now I could spend 2 science, put that here. Discard that, place these, and now I've unlocked that. So now I have just enough. Okay, so I'm gonna resolve and do the results. Gain 2 influence here. And then nothing else to resolve. Okay, so at the end, spell, we'll spell 2 times. So 2 times, I'm gonna spend 2 fleet, spend a science card. Oh, from the star base. Oops. Okay, so no, that won't work. Ooh, I may have misplayed that before. I think, was this a 1 or a 2? I think it was 1. And then I guess, so I've done only one of them. Exile 2 dice from the supply. I guess I'll put 2 black dice away. And then 1 more. Spend 2 from locations in play. I guess it'll be this one. Yeah, that's how I did it last time. Alright, so that's the results phase. Adversary will discard. An influence, so now it has 4. We'll turn this around for 4. Discover. We have the Hematib again. Well, it's different though. The requirements are different. And then now we'll just gain our resources. I keep saying resources, but I guess they're colonies. I'm not sure because resources are referring to these icons on the bottom left. So something to note. I might be using that term wrong. Okay. Trying to see. I don't know how I'm gonna get these milestones. How am I ever gonna get a 6 of 1 resource? That means I'm gonna have to claim at least 6. Maybe I'm not optimizing my turns enough to do this correctly. Let's put these in a frame. Can't do this one. I don't have science. This one, no dice with value 6, so let's do that for 7. Do this and do this. That's good. Here I could do these. Here I could spend 2 fleet. And then 12, 2, 4, 5, that's 10. Do that. And then I'll combine these into, no, that's not gonna work. Because it has to be the lower. When you combine two dice, so there's a 2 and a 1, I can make one black ultra die, but ultra tech die, but it has to be the lower of the 2 values, so it would be a 1, which is not useful. So instead, I'm going to just put them all on the research, and I'll go ahead and resolve the starbase right now. And I'll research now. I'll spend 3 to probe. Now gain this. So 4 science. And then I could spend 3 total. I'm gonna spend 2 actually. Gain this as science. Because I spent 2 of them here. And that one die will be wasted, unfortunately. And yeah, I'm gonna start resolving. It's gonna be in the results phase, so this is gonna gain an influence. This will gain 1 influence as well. Oop, we'll take it from here. And here I'm supposed to gain a total of 2. What happens though if I run out? Let's see. If I gain influence and we run out of the draw. Okay. Okay, yeah, so I'll just shuffle here. So it says, shuffle the discard pile and place on top the remaining events. That doesn't really matter here because we don't have events, so just do that. Okay, so this will give me 2 influence. Alright, so let me just double check here. Reshuffle when the deck is reshuffled. Exile one of the cards tucked here. If none are present, you're overwhelmed. Okay, so let's get rid of the exile 2 dice from the supply. I don't like that one. So this is exiled now. Put that here. Okay. So that's that. And then we swell twice. So I'm gonna spend the science from the starbase. I'll spend this one since it has less. And then the other one I'll do is spend 2 from location. So I'll spend this one from locations. And that's all I have to do. Now we go into, actually we do an extra one because we have 4 influence, but they are discarded, 4 discarded. So we do one more this turn. So I guess I'll exile, well, I'll spend 2 fleet. Okay, there we go. Done. Okay, adversary will discard a card. Then gain an influence. We'll fill up the discovery zone. And then we'll gain the dice. The 4, 3, 5, 3. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to, it says no dice with value 6 here. That's unfortunate. Because I'm so close to getting this one. But maybe we'll just have to do this one. Put 3 here. 4 here, so that unlocks the bottom. I need 4 science. I don't have any. Oh, I do. Okay, so I can do that. Let me get this. Perfect. And then I have these dice. So 5 plus X, and X is the number of influence here. So just a 5 there. And then 10 plus X is 10. I don't have 10 there. So instead, I think I'll put this here. And I will change these into an ultra die of 5. Put that here. And I have these. I think I'll put these here to gain fleet. I have 4 dice. Hmm. 12. That's 9. And I combine these for 5. I could go here. And I could get 2 fleet if I complete this. Oh, but I already used the star base, so I can't. Okay, cool. So I think we're good. We'll resolve here, I guess. So we'll do the locations. I'll get 3 influence. We'll get 2 influence. 2 influence here. And then we'll gain 2 fleet. Okay. Then at the end of the results phase, we swell 2 times. Resolve, spend 2 fleet. I'll do that. And then I'll remove 2 from a location. Now remove 2 from this one. Oh, and actually this does get claimed. It has 3 out of the 3 that's needed. So let's do that. Okay, so this one I will use here. Another colony. Okay. So now we go to the adversary. We discard. Gain an influence. Becomes 2. Then we refill. 3. Actually get 4. Actually, do we even have any left? We do. Okay, good. 4. 3, 5, 4. Okay. Okay. See if we got lucky. So X is 3, so we need 8 here. And there's 13. So we could do the bottom at least. So do this, and then I'll combine this for 1. So 10 plus 3 is 13, there's 13. Now we need 5 plus 3 is 8. So these will make it into a 3. Those give me 8. Perfect. And then you have 4 dice left. I'm not sure I can do anything with it though. So I'm gonna spend a tech star to return up to 2 dice and gain that many in black. And then I'll put these 2 here to gain fleet. And then I'll resolve the star base. Sorry, this should be here. And gain 2 fleet. And I'll spend the 2 fleet to resolve that. And then these 2 dice I'll save for I guess just put it here, maybe. Nah, I'm gonna put it here and gain some of that. So let's resolve this. I'll gain 3. So this will be turned over to make it into 4, and then 5, 6. So I'll discard these, and now I gain this. Alright. And then I gain an influence there. Here I'll gain 1 fleet. 2. And then nothing else happens. Now we get to the results phase. I'm sorry, the results phase is over, so we do the swell. We swell 2 times. And so I can spend 2 from a location. I guess it'll be this one. And then spend 2 fleet here. So no fleet left. Alright, cool. Now we'll go to the adversary phase, discard a card, and then gain an influence. So now it has 3. And then we'll discover, roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we roll 5 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of these. 5 of the blues. And then 4 of these, which I don't even need. I only have 2 tech to use. Anyway, let's see. Do I have any milestones right now? I have 2 purples, so a total of 4 purples. And yeah, no, I don't. Okay. Oh gosh. This is our first encounter, or have we had one before? Oh my gosh, have I not been paying attention? Is this really our first encounter? It might be. Because I also haven't been paying attention to the encounters. Oof. Okay, so let's do that. Put dice here. Well, we need a 5 and then an 8. I don't think we have that. We could do that. 3, 4, okay. And then 6. And we need another 6 here for blue. Maybe not. What should we do? Do this. Okay. That's 12. And then these can be used for the fleet. And then we have 2 here, which could be any. We'll get a bunch of fleet, I guess. I'll use attack to resolve starbase. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We gain 6 fleet. 2, 4, 6. And I think that's all I've got. So we resolve. We gain 2. 1, 2. Here we gain 2. Nothing anywhere else. Results, we swell twice. Spend 2 from locations. I guess we'll just spend it here. And then exile or spend from the start base. We have to just exile, I guess. Or no, I'll spend 2 fleet. That's what I can do. Alright. Okay, so that's the results. And then we will do the adversary, I guess. Well, no, we have to do the encounter where we add 1. Okay. Alright, so now adversary discards 1. And then gains an influence. So this is just gonna say 4. We know what that does. Okay. And then discover. We do have 4 here, so it gains another 1, so it has 5 influence. Action phase. Okay. Let's try to get rid of this. If we can. So let's put 8, 3, put 5. We'll put the 5 there. We'll spend 2 fleet. That's good. Took care of that encounter. We have a bunch more dice here. I just need 1. I definitely want to take care of this. So put the 3 there, and we'll combine the 6 and the 4 for a black 4. Put that there. That's all we need for that, and then get some fleet, I guess. Yeah, let's get fleet, and then we'll put this here on the research lab. Cool. So let's resolve the starbase, gain 3 fleet. Might as well just do that now, I guess, during my tech. And then here I'll spend 3 to gain whatever science is here. And the probe is 3. Then we have to shuffle. Oh, actually, I didn't need to shuffle yet, but okay. Let's just say this is discard. I didn't actually need to draw anything. Okay, here, just lets me remove this. And I can add this to my tech. All right, and then here I'll gain 1 influence, which now I need to shuffle because I need to draw that card for the influence, even though I will be discarding it. Okay. Discard, and I'll gain this. I'm gonna put that here. And then because of that, I have to do what it says here. When the deck is reshuffled, instead of revealing, exile one of the cards. Exile this one. Now there's only 3 left. And then it says, after executing the swells for the turn, which I didn't do yet, I have to check for defeat, so we'll have to check for that. Alright, so we resolved that, nothing to do here. And now we get to the end where we swell 2 times. Because we'll spend 2 fleet. And spend science from the start base. It says after executing the spells for the turn, you are overwhelmed if the number of exiled, which is 2, is at least as high as your Federation level. Oh gosh, it has been. Because I'm still at Federation level 1. So I would have lost a long time ago, actually. Right? Am I reading that right? So if the number of exiled adversary events is at least as high as your Federation level, which it is. How's that possible? Like, how would I even have made it? Wow. Like, how would I have gotten all these resources in time? Well, actually, right now, I'm close to having 3 of each. It would have to be the next, but that took, like, how many turns? Well, I guess I'm overwhelmed. But this would have probably been the second time I'm overwhelmed. So I doubt this would have been. Like, so let's just say I was overwhelmed the first time. I used this token, assuming I had it. I can't remember the timing on it. And now I actually lose. So yes, I guess that makes sense now. Wow. So this was quite a game. Definitely more complex than One Deck Dungeon. Man, the milestones are tough. Hopefully I'm understanding this correctly. Have 20 dice in your pool. I mean, that sounds easy, but I did not have 20 dice in my pool. I think I definitely got the hang of it, though, towards the end, where I was like, you know, kind of like figuring out what I needed to do to get to what I needed. Upgrading the starbase would have been helpful as well, because it introduces 2 more of the starbase tokens. But I never even had enough science to begin with. Wow, this is a lot of like management, like resource management, I think, and that's something I, you know, personally struggle with in games, optimizing my turns like that. But gosh, this was a good preview, and I mean, for me, I hope it was clear for you, and the gameplay was interesting enough for you to want to buy the game, because definitely I think there's something here, but there's a bit of a learning curve for me, even coming from One Deck Dungeon. There's a bit of a learning curve. So there's just a lot going on with like the Hungry Nebula, the star base, and then all of this here. It's just a lot to think about. But yeah, if you notice I did play any of this incorrectly, let me know. Definitely will highlight that in the description if that's the case. But yeah, that was my playthrough, and I did enjoy it. It was stressful, it was very thinky, but it was fun regardless. Yeah, if you want to see another playthrough, let me know. Maybe I'll try a different adversary. I did choose this one because it was level 1 based on the star here. But yeah. Alright, well, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.